Okay, so in conclusion of that topic, I doubt I'll go back to this topic, but someone in life always told me to focus on the positives more than the negatives. On the positive angle, it builds connection. Like obviously you can sometimes sense what someone else is going through, but they are far away from you. It builds connection. I mean, need I say, even in the Bible, it says someone ate a scroll. Do you think someone will just eat people like that? But anyway, it can communicate messages or transfer messages. Likewise, um, yeah, it has a good motive when there is no bad outlook to it. And overall, in connection to connectivity, it can connect many other areas of life where you want to kind of transmit information seamlessly. And then when it's actually now in the process of being taught or something like that, then you can almost effortlessly get it because there's some sort of a synchronicity going on, that's synchronizing going on. Then others would get it faster than others would. That's kind of the edge head can give. These kind of things are necessary. I'm not always going to be on this tip. Just saying. I'm not always going to be on this tip. All that I'm curious about, those who have black lips, what do you burn them? Do you burn them? Do you burn your lips? Like literally you burn your lips? Have your lips burnt? Happen like in life, I would just sit as a child or like growing up and just stare at those people with fair skin, whether they're not too dark or whatever the case is, and they just have this dark lips, and I'm like, for a lady even. And then you grow up and you're like, oh, oh. But really, people who believe such things, really, it takes belief. Some things I can't deny the synchronicity to the person that you would have. But it could be, let's say now it's under random occasion, pleasure, fun, joy. How would you just feel enabled in some things? Let's say it's someone, Jay, you just feel enabled in some things. There's advantages, you just see it as advantages, or if you encounter the opposite, that disadvantage. But like, why would it? I think it takes belief. If you would have to believe something like that for something like that to happen. I think also on the basis of motive, like we have different motives as human beings. I really never thought I would think about life in this kind of way, with these kind of activities or whatever that happens, engagement that happens between human beings. I never thought I'll think about it in this way. Do you see what happens when you actually unintendedly build circle with some spiritual beings? It complicates everything about life. Whatever that is simple becomes complex, dynamic, overly dynamic, and somewhat complicated. Like sometimes life is really that straightforward until you reason. Just like I'm coming, not now, I've been processing such thoughts, of course. I come to this realization. That means there's gonna be a time someone is gonna scroll and be like, but yeah, I was wondering. Okay. Oh. Just, it's like unnecessary information to process. Why would you wanna process such unnecessary life information? It's a lot. It's unnecessary. Like your people burden themselves, and usually people who think like that, everything about them represents something. They can even impact you when a normal person. They can even impact you. You're just doing something random, and then someone's like, it will take a while. It will not take a while. Not me, but that person. Not yet, but wait. It's like, calm your mind down. You are overworking your brain. It's not healthy. So instead of that person actually, whatever person thinking, oh, they're gonna hurt you or whatever, you are the one destroying yourself before anyone else. But there's a lesson in that, not govern yourself. Gotta be aware where you let yourself, gotta don't let yourself be accessible like that. Guard yourself. That's the lesson you could learn. But definitely you're gonna think about this thing all the time. And how someone is, you will actually end up it's like self-fulfilling prophecy. You end up speaking it in your head, ultimately outward. That's what you want. It's all a mental game. Yeah, that's why they call it this battlefield of the mind. It's all a mental game, honestly. Yeah. Guys, like life, you grow up, like life is just like it has good and bad meeting. Literally, I mean spirituality in the context of like culturally spiritual inclined people who everything's just hectic information. Yeah, things communicate things in life, I guess. There's meaning to everything, but to that degree, it's unhealthy. That person, even if they are your enemy, they don't have to do much. You've already done the work yourself. It's like you, by processing those thoughts overly all the time, it's like 80%. And then when they actually do it, you gave them the leverage to actually do it. Because it's ridiculous. And I hope just after saying this, I don't fall victim of it someday in life when I start being like, okay, I didn't think I would be like this. And then I start behaving funny. Guys, no. To people who think like that, hey, khutsisang boboko. That is a lot. Sure. Oh, the other mechanism to solving is actually spewing. Sometimes it actually happens automatically when someone knows what, okay, I have nothing against you, you have nothing against me, but maybe I don't want you connecting to me in that sense. And then you just in jail a day later, a few hours later, whatever later, and then it's all gone. It's a lot. This life becomes a lot sometimes because of different human beings' interpretation of life, but you have to acknowledge that we're not all the same, right? Okay, I don't want to zoom out, but yeah, it's kind of